Hello, everyone. It's Victoria, and I'm live. I love this. You know what? I'm so loving this. And I want to say to all of you who get scared about trying something new, yes, you're going to feel your fear, or you can call it excitement because it's the same physiologically in the body, fear and excitement. But when you're moving out of a comfort zone, which I talk about a lot, and I try to practice and I try to do it as a demonstration to support anybody who is with me on this journey of transformation and unfolding. So now I actually look forward to lives, and I made a commitment to do them more often. And for a while, it was uncomfortable. And now I'm just like, I love it. And here's why. For me, I realized I was thinking today, what is it about going live that I love? And this is a good thing to do when you are kind of on that edge of an old place moving to a new place. And, the thing we fear the most is the unknown. And so we can talk ourselves out of things. And then maybe we try and we still feel uncomfortable because it's not familiar yet. Um, but a way to really put your foot on that new path and that new way of being and that new experience is to really pause. We're going to be talking about pause today, pausing, the sacred pause, I'm calling this. And connect to what is it that you find joy in, or what you value about the thing you're doing, or what you're excited about. Okay. So I did a little announcement that I was going to go live, but it's the day after Christmas. I'm sure people are probably recovering, resting, or, some people like to go shopping on the day after Christmas and catch those good deals. For me, I'm kind of just doing a combination of just being in the moment. Just being in the moment. I'm following my advice, everyone. My theme for the month, if you've been following me here on YouTube or on Instagram, and on Instagram, I am the I am the soul nurturer on Instagram. I tried to get the soul nurturer because that's been my branded name for a while now, but somebody else has that. I don't know, is it called a channel? I don't know what it's called on Instagram. I don't know, at my age, going back and forth between all of these social media platforms is really not my thing. I love connecting. I love outreaching. I don't like the constant having to figure out how to do the new thing with the new trend. I'm just not. I've had people say, "Oh, you should." I've never went on Twitter, and I don't plan on it anytime soon. But what's the other one? I don't see. I don't even know. It's out of my mind. But you should put some videos up there, and that's where everybody is. And I'm like, I can't. I just want to stay where I am, doing my thing, and whoever is supposed to find me, hopefully, will find me. Okay. So my topic today is soul care. What is my topic? What did I say it was going to be? Soul care. Soul care during the end of the year. Soul care. Thank you. Okay. No one's here with me live. Maybe someone will pop in. It's okay. But the thing I love, to get back to that, to find what, brings you joy when you do something new, until, you may feel some fear about it, until you get into a new rhythm, right? Everything we do, we're practicing. We're either practicing the old stuff over and over again and on autopilot and our unconscious programming, or we're consciously choosing to do something different so we can practice in a new way of being. And the practicing in a new way of being, the first thing that shows up is fear, because our programmed minds were programmed in order to keep us safe. So this is really key. Whenever we try to do something new, we're going to get an alert, because our programmed information is going to say, wait a minute, no, don't do that. Alert, alert, scary, scary. And then fear, I always say, when we get to the edge of our comfort zone and we're about to break through, that's when fear shows up the most. So, like I was saying, starting doing lives on YouTube felt really uncomfortable and a lot of fear. Now, what I enjoy about it, I was thinking about this morning, is that it reminds me of a live session with a client. I do all of my sessions on virtual now. I don't meet people in my office anymore. My office closed down during the pandemic, and it worked for me to actually was a part of my soul visioning many years back about wanting to be just virtual so that I could travel more. And that's where I'm at right now. But there's some feeling that's similar to sitting with a client for the first time and having this curiosity and joy about where are we going today? Like, what is my client going to bring here to me that I can dance with and bring my soul wisdom to and support them in connecting to theirs. So we never know. It's like I often say I'm a soul guide because it is like, say another metaphor is meeting my client at the bottom of a hill or somewhere out in nature and saying, where do you want to go? And they point in the direction and I follow them and sort of support the journey. That's what I do as a soul nurturer, a hypnotherapist, a transformational guide, and an intuitive astrologer. Okay. So, but when people come on here live, that gives me that moment of like, oh, okay, what are they bringing that's new, that opens up my wisdom well, so that's what I love about going live. Okay. So what I wanted to do was to just, first of all, I'd like to offer this space as a kind of a check-in. How are you doing? And whether you comment or not, and I hope that you do, and I hope that you subscribe if you haven't yet, and like and comment. Liking and commenting really helps me get out in that YouTube, the bigger seas of the YouTube world, and to literally to different people across the world. And I love that. So I'm a Capricorn rising, so it's been a very slow and steady, consistent journey having a YouTube channel. And that's just kind of who I am. I'm not a blast off, rebrand, I don't know. I'm a slow unfolder. Anybody else out there like that? Slow unfolders like us. We have to remember to not compare ourselves to how other people are doing it and how, I find myself fall into that trap a lot, especially with my YouTube channel of, oh, I need to have a better razzle dazzle, like video opener and intro and an outro. And I need to this and that. And actually I had some feedback from a few lovely friends and people who said, don't just keep doing what you're doing. It's you that we want to connect with. It's you. So thank you for those comments. And you got me. Here I am. And I also am really so fascinated by the fact that I often will start projects and I get bored or I'm like not interested or it doesn't work or I'm complete. And this channel feels like just getting started and I don't know why. I'm really curious about it. Every time I check, no, keep going, keep going. Okay, so I'm here. So what I like to do occasionally is and maybe someday more people will come as a space to say, someone here is with you. I'm here with you on this journey and trust me, I'm having my own experiences as I guide you as a soul and a human experience, right? So end of the year soul care. So I'm going to take a sip of my lovely tea. I'm having my favorite chai latte, new cup I got from my sister-in-law yesterday. Isn't it pretty? So I'm just really, this is the phrase that came to me as I was checking in with myself today. I want to offer you an opportunity to check in with yourself. And here's how it came to me. I didn't really mean to put my cup up with this, but it's this is not staged. This is this is luck and synchronicity. Is your cup, after the Christmas ended yesterday, and I think Hanukkah too, and I don't know the time frame of Kwanzaa, but whatever you celebrate, we're in that place of wrapping up and moving towards preparing for the new year. And by the way, I would invite you to go to create space and time for you to listen to my year-end reflections. It's just an audio, and I'm going to guide you through a process that I've been guiding others through for years, and I do this for myself. And really carve out some time for yourself. There's some timestamps if you don't want to listen to the whole thing, and I understand. Just go right to the prompts, go to the reflections, or go to the guided meditation, but do whatever you need, or do it all. Take that time for you. I think it's 40 minutes. So hope you have your cup of tea or whatever you're drinking, I do really want you to feel like you're welcomed into this space. My first YouTube channel, some of you don't know, was called Sister My Soul. And that was the entire concept. I invited my friend Carrie to join me, and together we would just meet, have our tea or whatever we were sipping on, and discuss transformational topics to support anyone out there who needed support. So this is me doing it on my own, and I'm getting used to it. So again, just keep practicing what you fear or you desire, but you have fear about until it gets like, yeah, it's like riding a bike, right? So end of the year soul care. Now think about this. Actually, you know what we're going to do? I'm going to drop you into a really quick meditation because I find myself, I'm kind of all over, I'm ping ponging. Anybody do that out there, especially this time of the year? I was diagnosed years ago with ADD. And I think that anybody, honestly, I think we are a society of ADD. And I think pretty much anybody can be diagnosed with it. Why? We're overstimulated. And if you have a history of trauma in your background and you have to be hyper alert to survive, that's, to me, that's where ADD comes from. I notice everything. I have to, I still do. But now with a lot of healing and my own inner work and soul work, I can notice and assess for the most part without getting triggered, which is something I also want to talk about today, without getting triggered and being able to stay connected to my safe energy inside, to my inner protectress. But I think that's what ADD is about. But during this season, when we're overstimulated, we're already overstimulated with social media, with our work, our everyday routines, and if you have children. I mean, I have a very dear soul friend who has 3 kids, and 2 of them are twin toddlers. They're about to be 2 years old. And so I went to go spend time with her, and when her husband was out of town, just to help her a little bit. And I was just like, how do you do it? Moms out there with young ones. Yeah, I think I want to retrain our minds or reassociate the ADD to something like, instead of attention deficit disorder, it's, I'll have to think about it. Awesome, detailed. There's something. I'm going to come up with that. Just thinking of it right now. But let's drop into meditation, everyone, so I can catch up with myself and then share something from my heart and soul that may hopefully connect to your heart and soul. Okay, here we go. Let's take a breath. Feeling very joyous today. My cup happens to be really full. Let's see where yours is today. So just giving permission to drop inward, giving way to your inner world, taking awareness away from the external with eyes closed to just be willing to be with yourself and your own inner world, to gently and compassionately, with curiosity, assess what's going on, noticing. How are you feeling in this moment? How does your energy feel? Is it quiet in your mind? Is it busy? Is it hard? Are there a lot of challenging thoughts? Are you struggling? Are you in an area of your mind, like an old neighborhood that's challenging and old memories and unfinished business? I think about that, like, as our mind, we're in the present moment or we're in the past, and sometimes we're in neighborhoods in our mind that are just not friendly. And that's why present moment awareness is so, so important, to come back, to call ourselves back to this present moment. So as you're breathing in, noticing your heart. I have a lot of compassion for those who are grieving. And I mentioned that, My family is grieving. I am grieving, but it's a really interesting grief for me. My brother-in-law passed away in August, and this is because I've lived away for so long. I'm sad. I feel it, but then I just feel him because it's like, yeah, he's still there in California, and I know he is. But, when we're grieving, I can feel really weighted. So just notice your inner experience in this moment. We need to pause, connect in each time we're feeling, as you saw me before I wanted to invite us into meditation. I was kind of ping-ponging a little bit. Not from anything bad, just a lot of joy today, and that's okay. But I want to center. So often just placing your hand on your heart and one on your belly and breathing in what you need to be present to you, and just exhaling everything else, unlike what you need and desire, just breathing out. Just really connecting to your heart, connecting to your body, connecting to your soul. And on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being really good, my cup feels full, I have good energy. My mind is just flowing with joy. I don't know what your 10 would be, but 1 would be, maybe struggling, not doing well. Body doesn't feel good. Just assessing overall how you're doing in this moment, 1 to 10. And using the metaphor of the cup. Let's stay there. Is your cup full and you're giving from the overflow? That's where I feel like I am in this moment. Maybe about a 9 because I'm a little tired. Or are you feeling low in energy? There's a hole in your cup. Don't know what it's about yet. Haven't found out what it's about yet, but there's energy draining, or the compassion that you have is not available for yourself. Just noticing. And really, here is the key. What do you need? And imagine receiving it. That is, when we are not meeting our own needs, we can slip into those darker places or younger times. We suddenly go back to when we were a child and didn't have the capacity to take care of ourselves. And we think in the present moment, or we feel unconsciously unprepared or not having the capacity. And that's not true. When we come to the present moment and connect with ourselves. Now, I'm going to invite you to open your eyes here, because what I'd like you to do is this is a wonderful tool to connect to yourself in real time. Now, ideally outside. I went for a beautiful bike ride and I did this meditation where it's just connecting to everything around you in the present moment, present moment awareness, or expanding sacred awareness. For me, I was on my bike and I was looking at the clouds and mountains, and I just had nothing else to think about. I was just really there. So wherever you are right now in this moment, to connect yourself to the present moment, to your body, to this moment, look around where you are, or just notice the things, especially wherever your focus goes, and just name those things, pictures on the wall, whatever you see, just name them, connect to them, and then touch something that I'm touching my desk, feeling the softness here, feeling your chair, maybe feeling your body. I'm feeling my body. I'm here. I'm connected. I feel my heartbeat. I put on some essential oils a moment ago. I smell the beautiful floral aroma of my essential oils. I smell my chai tea. And then here, I hear the humming of my refrigerator. I'm actually my office is in my kitchen. I hear a plane. And so you bring your focus to what's in your immediate present moment, to call yourself back to this present moment. And that is, my friends, where we can, maybe now you can hear the plane because it's pretty loud. We can assess ourselves and really cultivate the compassion we need to support ourselves with the next step and the next step, okay? Especially during major transitions like the end of the year, or when you're going through a lot, you're growing through a lot when you're grieving the loss of a loved one. And that isn't, by the way, there isn't a timeline. Oh yeah, I grieved last year, I'm good. No. Once the fabric of your life has been torn by the death of a loved one, wow, okay, this is cool. You're forever restitching your heart. Wow, I've never said it like that before. You're restitching the tapestry of your heart. And to integrate that they're no longer physically here, but they're always here in our hearts, right? So that takes a long time, maybe your whole life. Okay, so just know that and be gentle with that. So if you're struggling, I will say this: do reach for support. This is the time of the year where it can be challenging. And the end of the year, this is why I offer the reflections, because it's a way to collect ourselves instead of feeling scattered and displaced or uncertain about what's coming next year. And it is like the end of the year is like a screeching halt. For some people, it's really joyous because you get to take time off. And that's what I did. I for the first time in my working life, and I've been working since I was 15, I took December off for the most part. I did see a few clients here and there. I have a Capricorn rising. I can't stop. But I intended to work on a sacred project. And I didn't get to it. And at first I was really having a hard time, like, why am I took time off to do this. Why am I not doing this? And really, when I listened to my body was like, because you need to pause. You talk about soul care, why don't you do some? So I really let myself rest when I needed to. I didn't push the agenda that I'm normally pushing of what I need to do and how I need to do it and all of that. I just let myself be. And I checked in every day. What do I need today? What do I feel like today? And it was a slow reconnection to myself and soul. I will tell you the truth. It was a slow reconnection. It's kind of like when you go on a vacation and say you have 7 days, and the first 4 days, you're not really there yet. That's how it was for me with December. I was like, this is just my time to work on my project. And before I could get to that, I had to adjust to slowing down, and I had to take care of my body. My body had a lot to say about slowing down and what my needs were. So I want to say this. I might put a link in the details of a blog I wrote a long time ago, because also reviewing after holidays, and I guess technically it's still until New Year's, the holiday season, we have so many associations to it. Conscious associations to the holiday season of all these expectations of joy and, love and connection. And we see it, especially in social media. We see it a lot, don't we? We see what is that saying? We see everybody's, highlights of their life, and it looks amazing. And we're comparing it to our inner worlds, going, my world's not like that. I'm not doing that. I don't, that comparison can really drop us and sink us. And remember, everybody's posting pictures and captions of what, oh gosh, how do I want to say this? What they want to share and what they want you to believe and what they want to believe. It's not reality. Okay. So that's another way of saying it. We are comparing our reality to someone's projected reality and going, mine doesn't measure up. And we can really get lost in that, friends. We really can. So that's why I try to be as real as I can on these videos. And I do let you know behind the curtain of my life, share that I struggle, and I share that my life's not perfect. And I share that I'm a wounded healer. And I love that, because thank God we can, hopefully I'm helping people paradigm shift from what a practitioner looks like, somebody who offers support and care and healing and transformation. This myth that we have it all together. No, we don't. And I honestly don't know one practitioner who does. there are, people who walk their walk, walk their talk. That's awesome. But I often say, I would love to sneak a hidden camera into Eckhart Tolle's house, just somewhere, just to catch one of his human moments breaking through where he drops an F-bomb or he's just like losing it. And his partner is like, Eckhart, what are your viewers going to say? I would love that. And hey, I do think there are some people who have evolved and are maybe more enlightened than the rest of us. Mostly, I think we're just humans, and we're trying to expand our soul awareness. But so, okay, back to my cup metaphor before I have to wrap up here. So here's just a quick assessment. Is your cup full? Is your cup draining out, like there's a hole in the bottom and you're not quite sure where maybe you got triggered? This is what I wanted to bring into it, and I went off on a tangent. I'm going to post a blog that I wrote years ago that I get requests for every year, and it's called From Blissed to Pissed. And it's about the holidays and how we get our expectations up, and maybe this time it'll be different, and it's going to be what everybody else is doing. My family time is going to be like that, or my time with the holidays is going to be so magical. And expectations lead us set us up for disappointment is what I say. But so this blog is all about that, how we get triggered. So while we're assessing our cup, is it empty? Is it full? Is it draining? A hole in the cup could be that you got triggered into a wounded place. Somehow, remember, it doesn't have to be that anybody does something specifically and directly to hurt us, but it's familiar enough that it opens up in our unconscious mind an area or a bad neighborhood in our minds where we were wounded or hurt, and that trigger in present time. And trigger doesn't mean you have trauma. Trigger just means you're human. We all have this. Okay, we all have this. We're triggered into that old neighborhood. Why? Because we want to heal. And if we're in the present moment and we're connected to our souls, we could go back to that previous event with what I call sacred awareness. Listen to my other video if you want more about that, which is that higher consciousness view of what did I need then that I didn't get, and how do I offer that to myself right now? That's really, if I could just write you a prescription to heal yourself and transform yourself, that's it. What did you need in the past that you didn't get that you needed? Give it to yourself now, right? But the tricky thing is, unconsciously, we tend to treat ourselves the way we were treated. That is the real challenge of healing, because it's unconscious. We're not aware of it. Okay. So is your cup full? Yay. That means you did take some soul care time. And by soul care, I mean slowing down, listening to your body, listening to your soul, by journaling, doing your dream work. I look at my dreams every morning. I don't always write them out. I sit with them. I feel them. I go into them. Sometimes I write them down, and sometimes I work them with my dream group. And but that's soul care. That's, for me, the highest soul care there is. And I use soul care instead of self-care because soul care encompasses the human and the soul. To me, it's all of it. Okay. So filling up your cup is important. But if there's a hole in the cup and it's draining and you don't have the capacity because you're always drained, that's where you need to pause and repair that by reaching out to a therapist, reaching out to someone like me, a soul guide, a spiritual director, a transformational coach, to help you go in there and repair that hole, and also to soul vision for new possibilities. It's the other thing I love to offer. So, okay. The other, I touched on grief. I did want to talk about that. And that is if your cup is broken, you're like under a remodel from grief, or, I actually know a lot of people, including myself. I am coming out of a time of a deep dark night of the soul, an inner remodel that's still not complete. Right. So for those of you who are going through a huge transformational cycle and the new you hasn't emerged yet, that can be challenging because it's like, what does the cup even look like? Well, how do I even hold myself, let alone the experiences of others? And this is why, for me, I really stepped back from community and connecting to others because I really, really needed to connect to my soul in such a way that I was coming from a new way of being, not out of my old patterns. And this is what transformation is like, friends. Okay, so I'm running at the edge of my time here, so I want to wrap up here. But this is, I was talking to someone yesterday, actually, I won't say who, it wasn't a client, but we were talking about, and I was resonating, like, yeah, I hear you. This person said to me, I just don't, I feel like I don't care anymore. And I was like, did I say that to you? Because 2 days ago, I was feeling like that. I was feeling like I don't care in the way I used to. And I used to be so pulled into everything. And actually, it's not a bad thing to not care as much as you used to. And it sounds like, well, that's rude. It's not rude. Here's why. What I was saying to this person I was talking to, it's not that we don't care the way we used to. It is that we do not have the capacity to care the way we used to. So capacity, this cup being empty, could be also, if you're someone like me who deals with chronic experiences, chronic pain. I've been trying to search this out for a long time. Done a lot of trauma work. I've done a lot of healing, and I experience daily chronic pain. So just think about that. Like, it's always going on. I have to override it so that I can function, but it's constantly going, right? So that can be very draining. Anybody out there experience chronic pain, or have you? Or again, grief. That is like, my metaphor for grief is like having all of your files open on your computer related to the person that you're mourning, and that it can just slow everything down. And a lot of times, and I want to say this, is that people who are grieving often get frightened that their memory is challenged, like, especially if you're older when you're grieving, like, oh no, I'm having some dementia. No, that's a symptom of grief. Why? I just explained. All the files open to your loved one, your memories, the regrets, what you wished had happened, what you wished you had done, what you didn't do, what you wish you had said, what you didn't say, what you did say. All those files are in this unconscious, ongoing review, right? That's why we have to consciously, and I remind people, it's called grief work for a reason. You need to engage in the process. I have a grief template. If you are grieving and you want to do some grief work to help you close some of those files, I'd be happy to send it to you, or this is something I love to work with people. Being present to your grief, then it's like closing the tabs and then opening up a new chapter of integrating the physical loss of the person, and integrating the relationship or shifting it to a new way of being. That relationship just changes. Death ends a life, not a relationship. I love that quote. That's my grief work philosophy, I think. Okay, so there's a number of reasons why we don't have the capacity we used to. Aging is another. So it's not that you don't care. It's that your capacity has shifted, and then you have to meet yourself currently where you are with what you can do. Educate people the best you can. I do this all the time, and I honestly still feel guilty because I do not have the capacity I used to go, and I used to call all my friends all the time and make visits and do all this, and I don't have the capacity. It doesn't mean I don't care. So I really want to invite you all to think about where you have been judging yourself or not doing what you used to do, or even thinking that you don't care in the way that you used to. No, that's your capacity has shifted. And you also may be experiencing a burnout. When we're burnt out, it takes a long time. I left hospice like a while ago, and I had a huge burnout there. And I feel like it's my psyche warning me, like, you remember that time when you burnt out and you couldn't do anything? Well, keep going in the direction you are, and you're going to go back there. So I have to watch that all the time. So wanted to say that. So that was it. Now, after you've assessed and you kind of are understanding your capacity, You offer compassion for the capacity, meeting yourself right where you are with love and compassion so that you can move forward um, towards your soul vision, towards what your heart is desiring for you, and practice in that new way of being. Okay, I think that's all I have for you. That this was an impromptu, and I actually it's the only note I wrote. I really was my idea was I was just going to sit down with my cup of tea, and I was going to chat with my hundreds of people who were going to be with me, and I was going to just see what everyone else was up to, and go from there. But mostly, I just wanted to send some love your way, some compassion your way. Trust me, I know how hard it is. And mostly, I would say to you, as I say to myself, keep getting up, keep your focus on your future, keep your focus on something you are visioning for, keep answering your soul calls, even if you don't understand them, and practice to the best of your ability, really connecting to your soul. The soul care may be having a ritual of soul care, and that may be reading poetry or writing poetry or journaling or reading a really wonderful book, beginning to dance with your soul, your intuition, allowing and looking for those beautiful, the symbolism of what is happening in your life. That's your soul guiding you. And synchronicity, I think I said, and your dreams. Really pay attention to your dreams. And here I'll leave you with this, and then I'm going to wrap up. Every day I say this prayer, and I invite you to this. I surrender all. Show me the way to my highest possibilities and my highest purpose. Show me the way. I'm willing. Okay? And then see what shows up. All right. Stay connected to this channel. Again, subscribe, like, comment. Please do comment. If nothing more, just comment where you're watching from. Somebody told me the other day, stop calling your viewers watchers, because there's a show, I guess, called The Watchers or something that has a really bad connotation. I don't know anything about it other than I've been saying my watchers. And here's why. I don't like to see my followers. I don't have followers. Viewers. I'll say viewers. Okay. So let me know where you're viewing from. But mostly what helps me is if you tell me what you got from whatever video I share that really touches your heart and soul, that really opens something up for you, that really supported you today or any day you watch it. That feeds my soul. And I'd love to hear that. Okay, thanks for being with me, and watch or listen. It's an audio, the end of the year review. Take that time for you. It's a gift from my heart to yours, my soul to yours. And as we all continue to do our own inner work and our own soul work, we are collectively co-creating a beautiful new possible future. Okay. Love to you all. It's an honor that for anyone who stops by, and it's an honor to have you with me on this journey. And next time, maybe I'll let you know maybe more in advance when I'm going to do a live. Sorry, I've got a lot of Sagittarius spontaneous energy. Leo moon. I love to do things like on a whim, but maybe I'll give you more notice so you could be with me, and we'll get there. Okay. Peace and so much love and bountiful blessings to all of you. And I will see you next time. Thanks.